my name's Rebecca Williamson. I'm the publisher of FiercePharma, and I'm here today with Leslie Donato, Chief Strategy Officer at AmerisourceBergen. Leslie, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good, good. So Leslie, you're just a few months in. Tell me a little bit about your role and what you're doing here.
Absolutely, yes. I'm just 3 months in, so very fresh. I am the Chief Strategy Officer for AmerisourceBergen, and so my role really encompasses 3 big buckets. I'm responsible for our overall strategy, development, direction, and implementation, as well as corporate development. So our work in M&A and other types of partnerships is all part of my role. And lastly, innovation. Certainly not last but not least, but innovation is also part of the role.
Okay, very good. So in your first 100 days, what have you learned at AmerisourceBergen?
First of all, I've been in the healthcare industry for a long time, so around 25 years in healthcare and pharmaceuticals, and I was really shocked by the breadth and scope of the work that AmerisourceBergen does. I mean, I think about them primarily as a distribution company, but I was really shocked to see the depth within each of the customer segments in which we serve, and really the amount of solutions that they bring to the marketplace. So it was quite a surprise. I was almost embarrassed that I didn't know about some of the programs that we offer and the solutions we bring to customers, but it's been terrific.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. So how do you think your previous roles have prepared you for this one?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and it's certainly one I had to talk about in the interview process. So just to give a little bit more on my background, the last 10 years I've been with Bayer Healthcare in the pharmaceutical division. I had a number of roles, starting with global strategic marketing, particularly in our specialty area. I also had the opportunity to lead a commercial business unit also in specialty in the US, and then most recently was leading strategy for the pharmaceutical division. And prior to that, I was with McKinsey for about 14 years, and I consulted to a number of pharmaceutical companies, kind of a range of topics from strategy to business development to therapeutic area strategy to brand strategy. So when I look across those experiences, while I don't have a lot of direct distribution experience, I have a lot of experience with the same type of customers that we serve at AmerisourceBergen, whether they be providers or patients or healthcare systems. And I certainly know the manufacturer side of the organization in terms of the needs of the manufacturers. And I think that ability from a consulting perspective to work across a breadth of industries and work across a breadth of types of companies is certainly helpful in my role and the strategy experience. I would say probably most important to that is really the collective goal that I think my previous employer and my current one have around how can we really make healthier futures going forward. So I had the real pleasure of working with a mission-based, mission-driven organization in Bayer, and I see the same type of kind of commitment to mission at AmerisourceBergen.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what would you say you're most excited about in the coming year?
First, it's wonderful to learn new things. So it's a great experience to be able to really learn the organization, what we do well, what we could do better. Yeah. So I'm excited to get out and meet with more customers like I'm getting an opportunity to do here today, meet with more of our partners, and just get more insight into the work we do, and again, what we could be doing better. I also think I spoke to the breadth of AmerisourceBergen and the breadth of our offerings. That breadth is a wonderful thing, but can also be sometimes a little difficult to harness as you think about priorities and ensuring that the right investment goes behind the right initiatives. So one of the most immediate goals that I have is around looking at our strategic planning process and how we build a plan and a set of priorities across the organization that can ensure we can put the right scale and the right investment behind our most exciting and most potentially impactful initiatives. So that'll be a big part of the first year in really kind of solidifying that strategic plan and our direction, and ultimately also informing our innovation agenda with that strategic direction. So again, with this wonderful broad organization can put its muscle behind some really important priorities.
Yeah, that's great, yeah. So I want to go a little bit deeper. Can you speak to how AmerisourceBergen is innovating for improved patient access and outcomes?
Absolutely, and I love that question because improved patient access and looking at how we can do that cost effectively is something the whole industry is struggling with. Okay. If I think about some of the recent examples or recent investments AmerisourceBergen is making that are particularly impactful, one example is in our LASH organization, really around patient access and patient adherence and the support that's required there. So LASH has invested both in the Fusion platform as well as has a relationship and an agreement with MediSafe. And both of these are aimed at how do we make the solutions we offer towards patients in terms of, again, getting them quick and access and giving them the support they need to stay on therapy, doing that in a very scalable and more cost-effective way that allows us to reach more people. So it's, I think, a great example of the work we're doing now and the work we need to keep doing.
Very good. Well, I think that's all the time that we have today, but thanks so much for chatting with me. This was a great conversation.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure. Thanks.